Okay, let me sit up straight. Okay. Oh, this is cool. I like this.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Experience Radio Show. This is the Everything Teen Talk Radio Show live at Soto Public Library, and this is our beautiful founder.
Hey guys,
Miss Nita. This is Jaden.
This is Taylor.
And thank you for listening. Today we have kind of a spin-off for you guys. We have STDs as our news topic.
We did. We're gonna start.
Yes, we have STDs as our news topic and a mock interview as our show topic.
That's why we're dressed like this. We're all fancy for you guys.
For you guys, because I sure did wear this to school too.
She did. She was prepared and ready to go.
Yeah.
But so that we have extra time for our mock interview, we're gonna start. Did I say mock interview? We're gonna start with our news topic first, and basically we're gonna talk about STDs and safe sex. And I just want to get the quote right from the website. It came from Fox News, and basically it says that 2.3 million new cases of aforementioned diseases reflect a steep, sustained increase in STDs since 2013, and also 67% in gonorrhea, which basically is sounding an alarm because different strains are being created. Now, when it comes to strains with like any type of disease, when you have more strains, it's harder to have a cure for it because it's only going to cure only parts of it. So if I have a disease and I give it to her, it's going to get in her body in a different way. It's going to appear and resonate differently in her than in me.
Not these diseases, though. She's not going to give me
none of those. I'm just trying to explain it. So it'll be different from person to person. So that's what a strain is. It'll change with your genetics, and everything that's in your body is going to attach to those diseases and be something different than to somebody else. So when that happens and there's no actual cure for it, that's a problem, especially with a growing population that loves sexual acts. So, well, not sexual acts, but instant gratification when it comes to sex. So it takes a little bit more precaution and safety for that to be, possible.
We are 2 minutes and 11 seconds in, and she's already making me laugh.
I don't want to be, we're at a library, and I want to make sure I say this politically correct and not tell you the Taylor way.
You're right.
I want to be the Taylor way. So now we're going to talk about safe sex. And this topic came to me in the cafeteria because, I was talking to some friends, and it was like the topic of sex came up, and I was just like, y'all got a condom? That was the first thing I was like, that I said it out loud. That's what I always do, even with my guy friends are like, oh, I'm ready to have sex and I'm ready to do this, and I'm like, you got a condom? That's like the first thing I always say, because it's like you have to be prepared, and even though you want this and it's great or whatever, you still need to make sure that you're safe. And now that sexually transmitted diseases are starting younger and they're seeing it in different places that STDs used to not be even found, like they're finding crevices of arms and the back of like your jaw where it used to just be your lips. They're finding strains and finding sites of the disease in locations that there used to not be. So it's important that you realize that STDs are real and that you're not invincible just because, oh, I'm in love and I'm going to be with this person forever, so we're going to have unprotected sex. No, let's not do that. And so the importance of contraceptives are always good thing to have, even if, I don't know if you guys watch this, but it's like to all the boys I've ever loved, and she writes all these letters or whatever, and her dad.
Yes, I watched that. You did? This weekend, I did.
And they go on this ski trip, and her dad gives her condoms, and he was like, the worst something is expecting abstinence. It was something, but it's like
the worst thing a parent can do is expect abstinence.
Exactly.
Because then you're not actually preparing your child for what is most likely to happen. Like, if you're going to be real with somebody, be real with the kid, so they can already know. And if they do choose to take that route, then at least they're prepared.
They're prepared. And she had a whole manila folder of it. I was like, he's a good dad because he's preparing her. I mean, it's okay to say you're going to be absent or whatever, but if you know that you have those desires, stay protected. Stay on top of your game.
Just in case.
Be safe. And always stay ready. One thing that I don't like, and it's something that always people say they either have an accidental pregnancy or have an accidental STI, and they're like, oh, it was in the moment. You created the moment. I don't believe you just sporadically are just in this moment. No, you knew you were going to be with this person, and you knew these feelings were going to, transpire. So you need to make sure that you have your back, basically.
Ooh, transpire, I like that word.
Oh, thank you. Okay. Now, testing. I wrote this down so I don't miss anything. If you are active, like regularly active, I suggest getting tested at least once to 2 times a month. And Ms. Nina made a face, but you don't have to go to a doctor. There's tests at Walgreens that you can actually stock up on and keep with you, so you can do at-home testing, so you're not always in a doctor's office feeling, shaded or however you feel, because some people feel insecure about going to the doctor for that kind of thing, which you shouldn't, because you're being safe and you're taking proper precautions. But if you feel more comfortable taking a test at home, you can do that. And also, I don't know if you guys watched the show, but Being Mary Jane, she, was actually, sexually active, and she had those STD tests in her home. And before she engaged in a sexual act with this guy that she liked, she made him take a test in front of her, and she took one with him as well.
Praise the Lord.
Exactly.
Those are now at your house.
Exactly. You can go to Walgreens, CVS. I'm not sure if CVS has it, but I know Walgreens does. But, testing, make sure you get tested. It's not this evil thing. It's honestly just getting checked up. Like you will go get your physical to get checked out by your doctor.
That needs to be part of your physical.
Exactly.
Especially if you're physically active.
Exactly. So get tested. It's not this bad thing. Go get tested. Yes.
A long-lasting relationship, you still need to get tested.
Miss Nina said a great point. Even if you're in a relationship, get tested.
Yes, please.
And I always said that for me, if I get married, I feel like there has to be this kind of trust thing. But if I'm just in a relationship with somebody and I do become sexually active, we're going to get tested like it's a date. Because I don't know what you're doing on your time. You don't know what I'm doing on my time, even though I don't claim myself cheating. But some people, they step out and they come in and they bring that baggage that they got and picked up while they was out screwing over you. And they bring it in you, and then it's just a whole mess. So continuously get tested. That's very important.
I have a question. Okay. Gotta make sure my stuff is on. Do you know if there's like an age limit to these STD tests? Like, you don't have to be a certain age to buy condoms, right? But you have to be a certain age to buy alcohol and other things?
No. As soon as you start having sex, get tested. Okay. So if you start having sex at 12, 13, you need to start getting tested at 12, 13. Save up your little pennies,
buddy, because you're going to need that test.
Save your allowance. I didn't get an allowance, but if you get an allowance, save it. If you're sexually active, you need to pay.
Our allowances are negative, so we get money drawn out of our stuff.
Exactly. Okay. Another thing, also communication, and then that also goes with relationships. I feel like sometimes when you're in a relationship, it's kind of like a taboo subject that you don't want to talk about, but you need to recognize that they have partners before you and you have partners before them. So before you even engage in that act while you're in that relationship with that person, realize they still have numbers before you, and you need to get checked and tested and talk about, okay, how is our sex life going to be and how does this transpire? Are we in an open relationship or are we closed? Like, have that discussion. It might be tense. It might be a difficult conversation, but you need to have it. And I want Jaden to read this quote because it's from her favorite rap. But read the bleeped out version.
Oh, yeah. She says she only loved. Hold on. She says she only like 4 or 5. So you got to multiply it by 3. So that's by J. Cole right there.
Exactly.
He's talking about. Yeah, she says she was only with 4 or 5 guys, but people don't always tell the exact numbers, and especially even if you weren't with them constantly in a one-night stand.
You acquire the numbers that they had. So as soon as you connect, you got their numbers too. So I just wanted to leave you with that quote because it is very true. So just be safe out there. I know prom season and romanticness is about to happen. So be safe, guys.
And thank you guys for listening to the STD topic. Brought to you by our local Taylor, the news broadcaster. Yes, she has a title now. Yeah. And we are about to get rolling into our next topic, which is mock interview. We have a commercial coming up, a music commercial. Please and thank you for all those listening to us right now and watching us on Experience Radio Show. This is Everything Teen Talk Radio, and we'll be back.
Yes.
Right now, we're going to transition for you guys. You're going to watch that.
Yeah.
So what happened? It was a lot better, huh?
Take this table. Okay.
Yeah, going cut in and out. Yeah.
It's still on. Okay. Now turn the bottom this way. Yep. Mock interview time.
So what I'm gonna do now is turn it over.
Okay.
Keep turning that just a little bit.
Okay, so guys, since the radio people can't necessarily see us, we're gonna use this time to give you guys tips and tricks because you guys can see us. Okay, so we have space. So we're gonna let Jaden show hers first because basically I'm what not to do, but she's what you're supposed to do.
Okay, so I guess we'll go with me first. So I have a skirt on, if you can see. Hopefully you can, I don't know. I'm not gonna step on this chair right here, I thought about it. So mine are right about at my knees. If they're a little bit below or below all the way down to your ankles, that's about a good size. If it's anywhere above your knees, not good. I know this is about modesty and being contemporary, but for a job, because you want a job, you have to do that. Now about the top, my top right here doesn't have sleeves. I know y'all can't really see, I'm kind of light. There it goes. Woo! So mine doesn't have sleeves, but that's okay because I have a blazer on top. Don't ever wear anything sleeveless because that is a bad sign. Another thing about power colors, why she's not something that you want to do. Don't ever wear red or purple.
Burgundy.
Hold up.
That's a better
It's
color.
coming.
I'm sorry, Lauren Perry, come to the front desk. Lauren
That's the
Perry,
library.
come to the front desk.
Okay.
Thank you.
So red and purple are power colors. Thank you,
Exactly.
Taylor. That's what you don't do. You always want to wear blacks,
Neutrals.
yeah, neutrals, so like black, gray, and navy blue. Now, if you wear white like this, it's okay. Don't come in there with a white blazer because you are not going to get hired that way.
You're not going to Easter play. You're going to jump there.
Exactly. You do not have to wear the tie. Thank you, Taylor Lauderdale, for listening. I see you right there. You do not have to wear the tie. This tie comes on this shirt, but it is a nice accessory. You don't want to have any big accessories, like as you can see. Squat down a little bit. I have little studs.
Don't
Hoops.
wear hoops. I love hoops, but don't wear them to an interview.
Right. Always have your hair tucked back and nice and neat. It's okay if you have hair like mine. I still look somewhat professional while also showing my own style. If you would like to wear it in a bun, that's perfectly fine. And I personally believe if you have dreads or braids, it is okay to wear them. And it's great to wear them and show your culture as long as they have good upkeep.
No, like, edges. No, it's been like 3 months or something. Don't wear your braids for 3 months, but
Right. Again, to the shoes, that's what we're getting to right now. I have on heels. These heels are a bit long. So another thing that you can swap out for heels would be flats.
So if you do want to wear a
Or this
heel,
size.
wear like this size, this length, like, the kitten heels.
The Kim heels?
Kitten.
Kitten heels, okay. Or you can wear flats if you don't like heels. I personally don't like showing.
But not flats like these.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Those
It's
don't
tacky.
match, and those are tacky. Again, stick with power colors, black or neutrals.
Exactly. Also, don't be wrinkled.
Yeah.
I am very wrinkled. I don't know if you guys can see it. The blazer is wrinkled. The dress has a little bit of wrinkles. Also, this is way too tight. So if it's really bodycon type, don't wear that. Like her skirt, you can see her figure, but it's still, but fits her. Also with your neck, you don't want to, you see how I'm bending over and you can kind of see something? You don't want them to be able to see something if you, bend down and grab a pen or something like that.
You don't want nothing to fall out.
Don't want anything to fall out. Again, this piece right here is a little bit, because it's a little bit long. It's not too big or flashy, so it's okay, but preferably if you really want to make sure that you don't get anything like that, do not wear it. Again,
Exactly.
about big dangly watches and things of that nature. I don't know if y'all can see it. And I'm really bright. Oh my gosh.
It's a good glare.
So you don't wear bangly
like
anything
bangles
or anything too much. Again, you want to say with contemporary. Fashion is always great, and if you're going for a fashion job, probably wear your
change it
fashion.
up. So if you
But most likely that's not what we're doing. This is a regular watch. It has a gold piece in it, which shows a little bit of style, but not too much. And my rings, take for instance, if you're married, you're perfectly fine. It's best to wear those. And you can wear a few rings, but don't have every single thing.
not
ringed
your
up.
Saturday rings up like you're ready to fight somebody.
Right.
Also, for a tip, if you don't feel comfortable in it, don't wear it.
Right.
Because you're gonna be constantly fondling yourself and trying to fix and adjust, and you don't want to, appear that way. You want to appear comfortable and confident while you're in your interview.
Yep.
And also know what job you're applying for. So, like she said, if you're applying for some type of fashion job or something with the fashion industry, it's okay to maybe boost your trendiness a little bit so that they can see that you care to be in that field. Just like if I was going for like a doctor job or something, I wouldn't have nails and I would look a certain way. So,
right.
Just patience.
Especially with that, we're going to talk about hair and nails real quick.
Oh, yeah.
For any job, do not have long nails. They don't typically like that, especially if you're working with your hands, either in food or even bartending.
Like this is how long I would actually get, and they're not fake. So do your real nail. Don't do any like acrylic or overlay.
Right. Makeup should not be too big or too flashy. You should not have any orange, purple, green lipstick.
Yellow.
Don't full out do all the colors in the eyelash. It's always best to stay neutral because you want to be seen in a
Don't
good
look like
way.
you done ate a bucket of chicken. Lip gloss on the minimum.
Right.
Keep it together, guys.
And we're about to begin in 3.
Really long time. Okay.
Now she's gonna act like that's my resume and questions.
So
3,
2.
1 sometimes. 3. Okay, this 3 keeps changing. It's okay.
It's not
It's
3.
okay.
You gotta read 30.
30.
Oh. I thought it was like 3 pause. 2 pause.
2 seconds.
Hello and welcome back to Everything Teen Talk Radio Show at the Total Public Library. Thank you for listening, and we're going to talk about mock interviewing. This is Jaden.
This is Taylor.
And right now, I, Jaden, am the interviewee.
Yes, and I, Taylor, will be interviewing her. So basically, we're going to go through this process. I'm going to act like I'm interviewing her for some job, and she's going to reply. And afterwards, we'll give tips for interview that we've learned because we have jobs.
Right. So the best thing that you want to know is all of these questions right now are going to be general questions for pretty much any job. It's not a specified job.
Mm-hmm.
But be prepared to answer all of these. You're going to see me stumble on some because I'm not perfect. And if you have any questions, any tips, please feel free to add those in at Experience Radio Show or any of our social medias. And we will begin.
Okay, and see. Hello, Jaden. How are you?
Good. How are you? Thank you for inviting me here.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so basically we're going to get started with your interview today. Just to let you know, it's just going to be a few questions, and if we feel like you're appropriate for the job, we'll contact you back. Okay. All right. First question. How do you feel about dealing with people?
That's what you don't want to do. You don't want to take a second, and you don't want people to know that you're kind of nervous.
Okay. Because I instantly looked at her eyes, and I was like, okay.
So I like dealing with people of all different types. My favorite are personally fill in the blank. Older people because they're so genuine, and I really feel like I can learn a lot from others. Like when I went to enrichment camp, RILA, I learned that there are a lot of different types of people, and I had a lot to learn from other people, and I really enjoy learning those life lessons.
Okay. All right. Why are you applying to work here?
Do not say because I need money. That's
Even though you need it, you might be on E. You were on E coming to this job interview, and you do need that money, but don't say it.
Okay. So I have the intentions of pursuing a healthcare career, and I feel like this job, which has feeling whatever their mission statement is, which will contribute to me learning how to interact with people in different ways, learning how to deal with certain situations, and overall it's going to help me be a better healthcare provider. And I realized that while doing this job and dealing with others, that I'm going to be able to work with a lot of different types of people, and that's what's needed in healthcare, so you provide empathetic care.
So where do you want to work in the healthcare field?
I would like to be an anesthesiologist, and I'd probably work at Baylor or Johns Hopkins.
Okay, so right there, a lot of times interviewers, they like kind of, go off the track of what they want to ask you. So be prepared to tell them something about yourself. Okay, give me an example of the last time you did something without being asked.
Okay, so at my job that I have now, it's my job to be a waitress, but because I was a hostess before, I know how the job works. So you have to wipe down the menus, you have to get the menu set up, the computer set up, the reservations. So the last time I wasn't asked, I wiped down the menus for the hostess because I had nothing else to do because I had nobody in my section because I realized that it was better to help others as a team than to just slack off or relax on my own.
So would you say you work good in teams or are you more of an individual work?
I would say that I work good in both. I think I thrive individually because I get stuff done in an orderly fashion, and I can pretty much control that. With a team, I learned how to work with others each time differently because everybody's different, and I really just enjoy learning more about other people. So,
All right. So my next question is going to be regarding you and how you deal with things or controversy or difficult times. But it basically says, are you willing to fail?
I am willing to fail because failure is just one step closer to success. So if I realize I do something wrong, I know not to do it that time and I'll try again.
And so when you do go through that process of failure, what are the top 3 emotions that you experience? One going from the first one through the last.
Okay. So when I fail, I feel like I might have cost someone else something. So I realized the responsibility that I had.
Right.
The second thing, I feel like, the second thing I try to do is try to reevaluate what I did wrong. So I kind of feel very reflective. And the third thing, I have a feeling of striving because I realize that you're not going to be good at everything. So you have to keep trying because at least I'm trying to get better.
Well, I love to hear that you never give up on what you need to do. And okay, so this is a scenario. We work at a place where we need to depend on people and they need to be at work. But sometimes people have issues, health reasons, kids, school, whatever. But everybody misses work sometimes. What are some legitimate reasons for missing work?
If I had a family, in which I do,
Okay.
if my son got sick, I would have to call in, but I would send an apology and see what I could do to make up those hours for the work that I missed. Another legitimate reason would be that I'm so ill that I cannot perform at my best or anywhere near it. And the third reason would be that yeah. Okay. But I probably take the bus here.
Thank you for your honesty. Okay, what about your character makes you a good candidate for this job?
So, like I said, I really enjoy working with people, being learning a lot, because not only does that help me be better as a healthcare provider, but I actually learn more about myself in that and learn my strengths and weaknesses. And in this job, I get to work with a variety of different people in a fast pace. So, I get to learn a lot.
All right, well, since you have a car, it said that if it broke down, you go to the bus. I'm not gonna ask you about your transportation, but what do you see as your greatest strength?
My greatest strength would be giving my all the time. So even if it's not my personal job to do it, if someone asks me to do something, I'm going to do it to the best of my ability and not slack off because I realize it affects other people in the long run.
Okay, and as you know, and it's a positive thing, but you said you give your all. So what happens when you feel run down and you get stressed out? What do you do in times like this?
So when that happens, again, I self-reflect and I take like a moment of meditation, which is in my reflection time, and I try to see why I feel that way and what I can do and how it affects others. So if I don't perform at my best, then I try to realize how detrimental that can be for other people, whether customers or others in my job, and even for myself. And then I have to correct it instantly because I don't want to see people hurt.
All right. And lastly, so that we can have a nice even schedule and not overschedule you or underschedule you and you don't get any money, I would like to know your hours and how your availability works out.
Okay. So as of right now, I'm available to work 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, from 8:30 to 4:30. All right.
Okay, do you have any questions for me, Ms. Jada?
Yes, ma'am. So what would be my total, this is something that you asked, not right now because this is a general, but you would ask, what are your job duties? Yes. How much you get paid? But if you can look that stuff up before, please do. Yeah, because most likely they don't want to be asked that question because you didn't do your research on it. Ask you how many people have the job now, I guess, or what is the layover rate for the job?
Yeah.
Like, what are the biggest problems that people have staying here? Like, that seems kind of like one that I would ask. Yeah.
But after the break, we'll give you more tips and tricks on how to nail your interview and not be, tense or anything, and just really go through your interview with no problem.
Right. Because I was tense and I had some problems.
It's okay. We're learning. We're learning together. That's the point of the show.
Right. So thank you guys for listening and thank you for watching if you're on our Experience Radio show, YouTube channel. Haha. And I just wanted to say it's okay that I messed up. And it's okay if you mess up too because we're all human and most people are pretty understanding about that, but please do your private research. Again, this is Everything Teen Talk Radio Show at the DeSoto Public Library, and thank you for listening.
All right.
I know here.
Taylor was being such a great interviewer. I'm over here almost laughing. Like, I didn't circle this question. Like,
Because I was trying to make a point. That really does happen. They'd be like, oh, thanks, Taylor.
Taylor.
I'm sorry. I already have glasses and I haven't gotten my eyes checked out yet.
So let's see. I'm just trying to see.
I appreciate you watching.
Yes. Do we know?
I know.
They got it set up.
Oh, he's a junior.
I don't know you, but you got it set up. Sorry.
So are we dressed appropriately? Did you get some of the tips on what to do and what not to do? Do you have any tips for me? Because I've never actually did an interview before. This is my first time even trying to do anything. As you can see, I'm kind of nervous. I didn't fully write everything down that I wanted to say. So you could say in some aspect that I wasn't prepared, and that's something that you don't want to do. If you know those questions, and again, we'll try to go over the questions a little bit later.
Yeah. He said the dress is too tight, like he said.
Oh.
Yeah, ladies, you don't want to wear anything bodycon. I mean, I know it looks nice, and you get to show your figure or whatever, but you want to have something a little bit looser, fitting. And for guys, I wouldn't recommend the suits that are extremely tight, that are like that on you guys, and like the pants are flooding. So I would recommend, get a properly fitting suit, or like the business collared shirt. What do they call this? Not the vest, but like the shirts that you wear under the suit jacket, a nice tie, some nice pants, nice shoes. Also, I forgot to say this, as far as your scent goes, don't go in smelling like he sprayed everything on you and decide to come sit in their office. They don't want to choke while they're interviewing you. So wear something, calm, scented. You don't want it to smell bad, but smell
I think
clean.
oils would be good for that.
Oils, yeah. Oils are good. Like, don't be like, they sprayed everything, like, because they're going to die. And they're going to be like, yeah, you gotta make that face and not know what to smell. And they're going to talk about you when she's like, this girl came in my office and she was smelling like flowers and vanilla and cherry blossoms and everything.
Now, Taylor says, make eye contact so people know that you are serious about your intentions.
Exactly. You look off a lot. But I think that's just because it's me. But don't look off. If they give you eye contact and they're looking at you like this, give it back to them.
No, I just look off, period. I have to work on that. I have a lot of stuff to work on it.
Nice job. Oh, thanks.
Thank you, Ronnie.
Oh, that's Ronnie. Hi. I thought you was going to be asleep right now.
Keep up the good work.
You're so motivated today.
Thank you.
So y'all get compliments.
Ronnie and Taylor.
Okay.
I want to call you Taylor so bad.
I know I called him Taylor the first week, I think, and he was like, it's Taylor, right? And I was like, yeah. Like, sorry.
I'm bad at names. I'll just tell you I done forgot. It's okay. I'll get it eventually.
What's my name? You know it? Oh, they can't even. Oh, they can't even hear
I'm
me.
still holding mine like it's on.
They had me. Do you have any good interview skills for males or any good attire things for males? Because we're not males.
For males, they need to have at least, well, depending on the job, if it's like a corporate job, they need to have, they can have a suit and tie. That would be fine.
Okay, so
Or a
tie.
tie with long sleeve shirt. If you have tattoos, you want to make sure you cover your tattoos.
Oh, yeah.
Unless, of course, if you work for a tattoo parlor, but all tattoos need to be covered. And if you guys do decide to get tattoos, get them somewhere to where it's not, don't get them on your face or anything because you still want a job. And people shouldn't judge you based on your tattoos, but this is, you want a job, so make sure you hide them. But they also have makeup where you can hide your tattoos as well. So for me, I have a tattoo here on my wrist. Oh, they can't see. I have one here on my wrist. And so I just keep it covered with a watch, or if I'm in a business meeting with a nice bracelet or something like that. And that way, so make sure your tattoos are covered. That's very important. And if you have piercings, like in your nose or in your lip or your eyebrow, you want to take those things out.
Okay, so I have a question. So if I get an industrial piercing right here, is that bad?
Industrial piercing, like?
It's the bar right here.
I wouldn't say it's bad, but it depends on what job you're trying to get.
Right. So because I want to get an industrial piercing, but those take about a year to heal, and I don't want to wait a year.
Well, the thing I would do is whenever you get of age to where you can get it, I'll go ahead and get it as early as possible. So when you start working in
last year, I should have got it last year.
You start working in in your field, in the health field, in the healthcare field, you want to, maybe not actual bar, maybe get a more. What would I say?
Yeah, but you can't move them for a whole year.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Go ahead and get it done now. Well, not now. Bad advice. Yeah, get it done when you get of age, or whenever your parents let you, and then that way when you get ready to start preparing and working in business or whatever you want to work, then it will be a little easier for you to take out. Yeah.
See, my mom was like, "Oh, you want to get your third piercing?" I was like, "I think one's good enough," but. So I want you to give me critiques.
Okay.
I obviously couldn't see myself, but I don't think it did a great job. So do you think I would have got
the job? So about 2 minutes out, guys.
I don't think I would have. I mean, I said some honest stuff. But I kept saying the same things.
But they would have to reevaluate you. So you need to come back to your next interview a little bit more confident. Like if you get a great, but if she had like a more gracious interviewer, then she would have been fine. They would have reevaluated her and scheduled her for another interview. But if you have one of those harsh people that are like, I don't got time for this, and they are looking for somebody that's already ready or built, and they feel like they're confident with you filling that position today, like right then and there, then I would say no. It just depends on the interviewer.
Right. I'm someone who just has to work on interviews because, like what Taylor said, I don't really keep eye contact very well when talking to people. And I just overall get kind of nervous when talking to new people.
1 minute and 20 seconds.
Unless I know something like you can't tell me anything else. Then I'll be like, yeah.
This is so cool. I like this.
I know, it is better. We might have to.
Y'all are doing a phenomenal job.
Oh,
1 minute out.
You said what?
You guys are doing a phenomenal job.
Thank you. But the only difference that I would say is we have to cover that episode.
Yeah, I was thinking about putting the sign right there, but I didn't want to keep anybody. This is not, of course, my place. So because I was thinking about that. I said that would have been a great background, but I don't want the librarians to come in and say.
No, I think it would be fine.
All right, 33 seconds out. Well, I guess I should say 30 seconds. It's already on auto, so it'll go here. Once it plays here, yeah.
I'm so scared.
Taylor, how many job interviews have you had? Remember in the beginning of this, she's like, I went from no job to having.
Oh yeah, another thing, be kind, because I go to a lot of places where it's teenagers working and they're just like, hello, here you go. It's so rude. No customer service. Yeah. People, you have to have customer service skills. Like you just have to.
Miss Nita.
Yeah.
The laptop's on the table.
No.
Yeah, see that?
I think it's 2 hours.
All right, 5 seconds.
2, 1, 3. Okay, so 3.
Hello, everybody. This is Jaden.
And this is Taylor.
And we are back with the Everything Teen Talk radio show. We just finished our mock interview, and now we're going to get some feedback. We have Taylor and Ronnie on the line listening on YouTube from what we can see and commenting. If you would like to comment and see us as well, please go to our YouTube Experience Radio without the E. And
With
go
X.
ahead and click on the live, yes. But back to our mock interview and some tips and some not so gracious advice to me.
So I'm gonna face her now. Well, halfway
No,
face you
good.
guys like this. Okay, so I'm not an expert, but I have been through 3 interviews for like establishments, but my last interview, it was 3 parts. So some people do like that. It depends on the business, it depends on the place, and it depends on who you're being interviewed by. So just starting with how I critique her. Let me grab this paper real quick. They're gonna show. As you see, she did, and maybe you can't, probably not. Okay, you can. She did circle some questions. So you kind of tried to pre-prep, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so prepping is great. So you want to go in and actually know what the company is about. So go on there, do a quick little Google search of the company and just say mission statement. Read the mission statement and try to figure out how you can implement that into something that you can say at a certain point. So it's okay and great to be prepared. But as far as the questions, I wouldn't try to prepare those because you never know what they're going to ask you. So when you already have this set mind of, oh, they're going to ask me, how I feel about dealing with people, you're gonna be loud when they don't ask you that. Right. So, because some people, they don't care how you deal with people, they just wanna know if you can use a computer. And you're like, I can kind of use a computer. And you don't wanna stall, so you kind of wanna just have a generalization of know your skills, know what you can do. Also, don't be afraid to show a little bit of your personality. So if your interviewer is like this the entire time, they're just like, okay, and then just, going through the paper and looking at the questions, you're not keeping them intrigued and you're more than likely not going to be remembered. My main goal, in an interview, is to try to make them laugh at least once. So try to put your personality in there, make them smile, make them grin. Some people are really hard, to make laugh, but if I can get you to grin, I'm like, okay, I got you.
See, my problem is, nobody gets my humor. So I want them saying something, they'll be like,
be cheesy. If you have to be cheesy, be cheesy. But, I don't necessarily say laugh. That's my personal goal. But try to establish some type of connection before you leave their office so that they have some type of point in their memory of you other than the interview questions. You don't want to just be a straight, okay, she answered this, she answered this. Because a lot of times they do have a pen and they're writing basically your responses. And you don't want to have the square responses as the first 10 people that came in before you. So you want to have something to make you, different from other people. Another thing, like Taylor said, eye contact. A lot of times you're in an office and it's one-on-one and you're facing them like this and they're staring into your soul and it's uncomfortable. Because more on a day-to-day basis, we're walking next to each other. We don't look in each other's eyes. It's not like that. But when you're in the office with somebody, they expect you to give them their attention when they're asking you stuff. But also in an interview, a lot of times, the boss or, the head person, they're also, they're looking at other things and doing that. And even though that might not be respectable to you, you still have to know how to still engage them back in. So that's also another part of your personality. Make sure they don't look at their calendar, don't look at the notification on their phone. You want them to make sure that they're in the interview with you. And I think that was about it with your interview. Just be a little bit more, like you said, because we're friends. And she was still tense for a fake interview. So when you go on an interview, just know they had to go through this process before they get their job. So they understand. They've been in your shoes before. They've been trying to look for money. They need a job too. So they've been in the same spot. So you kind of just have to go in and know that they're a person as well. And also, I would say outside of educating yourself about the company or whatever, just make sure you're comfortable. So if you need to bring something with you in your purse or something to make you feel comfortable, bring that. You more likely are going to be talking for more like an hour to an hour and a half. So if you need water, bring it. If you get dry mouth, bring mitts, because if you have dry mouth, your breath begins to stink in your mouth. And you're talking.
My breath smell?
No, this is for like tips for people. Like bring mints, water.
Here's a joke.
Oh, also.
See, she don't get my joke.
Oh. I'm trying to educate you people, okay? And also bring your resume, and your resume includes a cover letter. So cover letter and then your resume. Okay, keep that together. Have a nice little portfolio. I don't keep like a traditional black one, but I keep my resume in like it's like a clear sheet with the slide on it so that they can keep it. I don't want it back. Like, don't give me my resume back. I want you to keep it on your desk. So I give that, so it's like portable. They get to keep it and have all your contact information on there and just be cool and relatable. I think that's all I have for interviews. Well, there was one experience with the last one that was 3 parts. It started off with a group interview. And at first that could feel intimidating, but really what a group interview was trying to test is to see if you can interact with people on the spot. Because more than likely you will have to interact with customers on the spot and be, blendable and able to have a conversation. So that was the main point of that. So if you experience that, don't be nervous, just go in and answer the questions how they want.
Okay, so I have a question for you. Because again, she has done more interviews than I have. I've never been in an interview in any type of way. So I have one for you, Taylor.
Okay.
Look me in my eyes. Okay, ready?
Don't do that.
What?
That.
Oh yeah, don't do that. It's bougie. I'm just kidding. So my question is, should you put your picture on your resume?
Personally, I wouldn't do it because more than likely you don't know how to take a proper picture. Because if you're camera too close or a selfie, I wouldn't.
Your headshot on your resume.
No, unless you're a model. Because they see your face. I would never put a picture of myself.
Okay.
It's kind of weird. Okay.
Okay. I didn't know. I was just asking.
If you're a model
or
trying to go for an agency, put your picture on there, But I wouldn't do that because a lot of times people don't take a proper picture and you're sending them a picture with a Snapchat filter. So
okay,
just stick with your resume.
No. So if you were wondering like me, the answer is no. Don't put your picture on there.
Unless you're a model.
Okay. So we have that. Should every resume have volunteer hours on it?
I say put on your resume what's needed. So your previous experience and volunteer experience, not really, unless it pertains to them. So if you're going for a job and it's in the medical field and you volunteered for a nursing home, okay, put that there because then they know, okay, she has some type of experience dealing with this. Or if you're trying to go for a chicken restaurant or something and you volunteer at the food kitchen, okay, she knows how to serve food and she knows she doesn't need to have long nails and she knows how to wear gloves, she knows something with it. So if it doesn't necessarily connect with it, I wouldn't do it. But your education experience, of course, so really I just do education and then previous work experience.
Okay.
That's about it. So if it's needed, if it connects somewhere, then I would say, because otherwise they're like, okay, she volunteered, that's cool. Why is it here? You can mention that in the interview. They're like, okay, what do you do in your spare time? Oh, I volunteer here and here and here and here. But if it doesn't connect, I wouldn't put it on your resume.
Now look at little Taylor, our news broadcaster and our superstar. She's teaching me so much, I swear. Like, I learned so much from her. She's like my granny.
I couldn't be the mom. I gotta be all the way to the granny.
Auntie.
Dang.
It's a joke. No one gets my jokes. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, she put me as a granny. Maybe your mama.
No one gets my jokes.
She already put me in a nursing home and everything.
My granny in the nursing home. That's another conversation for another day. But again, this is Everything Teen Talks with Experience radio show at Minnesota Public Library. I hope you guys are enjoying this and learned a little bit. If you have any tips or tricks for us, please feel free to tell us. If you want to send us a template, we have on Instagram, Everything Teen Talk Radio Show. Just kidding, that's not the name. It's teen_talk_radio. Twitter is ETT_radio. And if you want to hit us up on one of those or both, feel free to do so. Thank you for listening, and we'll be right back in about 10 minutes. Thanks for listening.
Thank you. Also, Taylor, I see you said I missed my last interview. I was sick. So for our people that are also watching, if you're sick or have any type of emergency and have to cancel,
Email or
call
call.
them. Call
Call
them.
and then send a backup email.
Like an apology, something like that. so that you don't ruin that, and then you have more of a potential of them rescheduling it.
Yes.
Cause they're like, they done wasted my time. I know with my last one, there was something that came up and she canceled the interview. But then it was like, okay, I just had to figure out another day. So if there's any cancellations, just like they called me, if I needed to cancel, I would call them.
I mean,
Just
that's
be
just,
respectable.
yeah, that's respectable.
You know, just kind of, I don't want to say grow up a little bit, but just, I don't know.
Be responsible.
Yeah.
That's it.
I feel like sometimes we forget that we're our own person and have to take accountability for what we do. Also, another thing, if you don't get the job, don't be upset, you know? Because, like, sometimes you can ace that interview, do everything right, be perfect, do the whole laugh thing, have the connection, and they still won't pick you. It can be a numerous amount of things. Either they wanted to hire somebody with more experience or somebody
older,
that
someone younger,
somebody that worked the job before or had been in their chain for a minute.
Right. They can be biased for whatever reasons. That's
Very
not
true.
up to you. If you didn't get it, there's a reason why you didn't get it, and it
Exactly.
just wasn't meant to be at all or at that point in time, and it's okay because there's better stuff waiting before you run the corner. Like, for example, we're off, so I can talk about this right now. I took a driving test on Tuesday or Wednesday.
Okay.
I didn't make it. I didn't pass my first driving test. I usually drive a very good speed, but for some reason I drove slow, and I guess a little bit too slow. I was driving 15 in a neighborhood, and that's where my driving instructor told me to drive. I didn't see
Speed limit.
a speed limit sign, so I thought I was cool, and she's like, the speed limit for residential area is automatically 30 unless stated otherwise. And I'm like, that's kind of fast. But
It is, and I remember being taught
So they go back
15
on me
too.
to 50, I'm gonna run to the restroom.
But I remember going faster. And I feel like with that, it kind of is up to the person's discretion. So obviously, if you see like children and stuff, I would go slower. But driving tests are hard. I failed my first one for speeding, and I didn't even know I was speeding.
I failed mine for going too slow. And then when we went to like the second part of it, I went by a school zone. They had kids going, so when it said 20, I was going 15. Again, I was basically just driving 15. I mean, I was like, there's no way she's gonna say I'm speeding. And then it was like the school's over here, and I go this far away, like very far. And then I turn right, and I think the school zone ended, right? Because in my mind, school zones are only straight. That's all I've ever seen them. But anyway,
there's one in Cedar Hill, and you turn onto it. So there's one, and then you turn onto it, and then it doesn't end until on the street. But
I think
also,
that's
if
what
you
happened.
don't know your area, okay, another tip: if you take your driver's license test, like try somehow figure out the route. Ask somebody that took the test in that location. Say, okay, what did they do, so that you kind of can be familiar with the route. See, we could pass a driving test in DeSoto because we know where the stuff is because we drive around the area all the time.
all the time.
But if you're in an unknown location, then you're not gonna know.
Right, I'm over here like trying to figure out where stuff is. She's like, turn right. I'm like, I don't even see the. Okay, it's right here. Slow down. Look at her like.
And they don't talk to you. They're extremely quiet.
She seemed chill, and I didn't. Okay, so like what I was saying, we went this far, and I turned right, and it said resume 45.
Mm-hmm.
So I started speeding up. I only hit 25, and she says it was still
Resume 45 when you're going 25?
right.
Were you still
But
speeding up?
Hmm?
Were you still speeding up?
Yeah, from 15.
Yeah.
So apparently I hit 25 and a 20 is what she's saying.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently that's breaking the law.
Don't start until you cross the line. So also with limits, if you're
But hold
going
on,
20,
I've never seen this sign before. Who has a yellow resume like this on top of a 45 sign? I'm like,
there's a lot of different. Sometimes it's the blinking light. Sometimes it's just the white sign.
I only saw the blinking lights. That's why I was like,
That means 20.
that's back there.
So like,
Anyways, I didn't
it
pass
depends.
it. I didn't pass it. That's fine.
It's okay. You're gonna fail.
I can drive better than half these people out here, but they passed. I didn't. But that's fine. It just wasn't meant to be. Maybe something was gonna happen.
And you didn't need it. That's why I said when I first felt it, I was like, you know, it happened for a reason. I just went home.
I felt like a failure. I literally cried.
I wouldn't. I didn't. I was like, okay. And I think it's because I'm so, like, when things happen, I'm just like, okay, it happened for a reason. Let's just go. Unless I'm mad or something, it's like, okay, let's move on. But, are you back on? Yes, we're back on. Do you want to continue about this?
Library, everything's
Hello guys, I'm Jaden.
And I'm Taylor.
And we're back with the last session of Everything Teen Talk Radio Show on this Thursday at the DeSoto Public Library with Experience Radio Show. Right now, we're going to talk about the rest of the questions. And these aren't questions that you just have to memorize, have to have an exact answer for. But it's best to know at least a little bit about yourself. And again, do your prior research about their company and what you're looking for. Let me see the questions that she didn't ask. She asked me the ones that I didn't circle, and I didn't circle those for a reason. Those are the ones she asked me.
I asked you the ones that were circled.
She asked me number one.
No, I asked 1.
Give me my paper back. Okay.
I just did different versions.
Yes.
I went off a little bit. Expect the unexpected.
I wasn't expecting that. That was my fault. Okay. So.
Gotta be prepared.
How would you handle slow periods at your job?
Don't say that you're gonna chill.
Yeah, don't. Just say you're just gonna use that time to catch up, or
get ready for the next influx or the next busy part.
Right.
Because there's always something to do.
What would you do if you knew another employee was stealing? I would be so scared. I'd be like, I document the time, like what I think you're stealing, and I would literally just.
I'm gonna act like everything's fine, and then
yeah, I'd act like everything's fine.
Yeah.
Write a report on it and just give it to the manager. If the manager's there, I'd be like, hey, yo, look.
Just do everything in discretion. You don't want to call people out in front of everybody. That's not okay.
Right? Because what if they got a gun?
And they crazy.
No, because they got to be doing something to steal in the first place. I ain't with that. But anyway.
He said I'm gonna tell on them quick. Okay.
Right. Nah. I mean, yeah, but my bad. How often are you late for school?
Damn it. I'm doing better now, guys. Like, I'm on time. I'm like,
she's on time every day. I don't know a day that you haven't been on time yet. Like, she's usually there.
Sitting down, chilling in the hot cafeteria.
After I get there, or 30 minutes before. Like, we never really arrive at the same time. How would you handle a request to work a non-scheduled shift?
Okay, so this
depends
happens
on the job, and I'm probably like, I'm sorry, I have something to do.
Yeah, it depends. Like, the last job I had, they would do that on days that I clearly said that I couldn't work, so it would get annoying. So I'd just be like, no, or I just wouldn't answer their phone calls. I mean, I don't recommend doing that
right there.
Unless it's, and that's also another thing. Sometimes when you get the job and you start working there, you realize that it is not for you, and it is okay to leave. But make sure you put in a 2 weeks notice, because when you put that in, it just shows that you're not disrespecting them or their time. So it gives them enough time to fill your space in. So give them that time and peace out of there.
Right, like a friend of mine who I worked with, he gave his resignation letter the day he quit.
Said,
and I was like, you know, you're supposed to give it 2 weeks in advance, and I guess he didn't realize that. And I was like, that's what the letter is for. And he's like, oh.
I mean, you can always ask the place if they require one, because last place I said they didn't require one if I wanted to work with their location again, and I knew that it didn't, so then I just didn't put it 2 weeks in. So you can call and ask
just to stay on good records with them.
Yeah.
Don't be like Taylor over here. She seemed like a very good interview, right? Because she's all strict. Well, she's like that in real life.
I mean, I called. I checked in.
Nah. Anyway, if you see someone needing help but have not finished your assigned work, would you help them? That's a hard one. I'd probably like yes because I want to, but then that seems like you're not gonna get your job right. So
exactly.
That's like bad. That's a hard one.
I would always say, if you need my help and you see me doing something, it's up to you to ask me. So if you ask me and really need to pull me out, then okay, I'll help you. But don't expect me to be like catering to every little part and step. Because I got stuff to do. I got to finish what I got to do.
Right, just me, I would be like, you couldn't have asked anybody else who doesn't have anything else to do.
If you can't do it, then okay, like she said, like, okay, can you ask such and such? I don't think they really have anything to do right now or something.
Right. Another one, how do you feel when people criticize you? Me personally, if they criticize me like at work, it's probably because I did something wrong. So it's it's constructive criticism. So I take it, I'd ask about it and like try to see what I can implement to get better because the whole part is to be your best.
And you have to also become, I don't want to say desensitized, but used to different types of criticism because not everybody is going to deliver criticism on a plate of rainbows and sparkles.
Right. They might just be like,
you got to toughen that skin.
I think that's what it is. I'm afraid to meet another me.
You shouldn't be. It's just like, okay. I literally have this attitude where it's like, okay. Because like if I do something wrong and they just have to make it this big deal and give me this huge plate of what I did wrong, I just kind of walk away. I'm like, okay.
Taylor is literally the okay person. Like everything else, she's like, okay. Like I'm condescending. She thinks I'm condescending, so does my family and everybody else. Am I condescending? She lied to y'all because earlier she was like last week she's like
she does it without knowing.
Right, but what does condescending mean? Can you say condescending?
Condescending.
I feel like you do. Just because everybody says I'm condescending.
It would be in your tone. So if you're dismissing somebody, if you're dismissing what they said, what they're doing, and it's in a negative way, you're being condescending. When you put somebody down.
Okay, so yeah, her okay is very condescending then.
It can be.
It is.
And I will throw it at you real quick.
It is half the time, and she'll do the she'll bat her eyes. She'll be like, okay, and then she'll turn around and just be like, what?
Don't do that to your boss, okay, guys.
Okay, next one. What are your greatest accomplishments? If hired, how long do you plan on working here?
It's okay to say, okay, this is a seasonal thing for me, or until I find, or say you're in college, like, okay, I'll be doing this during my off semester during the summer. So just let them know, be honest with questions like those.
Right. One more tip, and we got to wrap it up. So if you do a paper copy of a resume, I think most copies of resumes are now online. So like you can email them. I would still bring a paper copy just in case they may not want it, but at least you have one and at least you're prepared. And if you do make it in, most of the time I guess they do have other paper resumes, make it on, cardstock paper. So it's actually,
interview paper. There's a little package and it's for your resume and you get that. It's called resume paper and you put your resume on paper.
Okay, maybe you should do that one then. I was thinking cardstock because if you pick it up, it's heavier, so you're gonna want to look at
it's like paper but thicker. So it's not necessarily cardstock. Cardstock is
I don't even know what cardstock is. It was a hat, okay? It was a hack that I saw.
Get resume.
But I hope you guys enjoyed our little dress ups for you guys that wore this to school. She wore most of that to school. I can't say all of it because
I wasn't ready to go. I had on a jean jacket.
Right. But I hope you guys liked our little dress up for you guys and our little mock interview. You got to see the do's and the don'ts of the mock interviews, and you guys learn about STDs and getting tested, which I'm going to utilize that starting today. I'm just kidding. I'm not, because I have no need for it. But I would have got. I'm going to get one day because that's important. Get STD test at home. Make sure you're prepared for your interviews because they're not mock anymore. Make sure you're prepared.
Yes.
Look up about the company. Look up about what position you're looking up.
Be confident. Go in. Own it. And you should be fine.
And pray before you do it if you're religious. If not, do what you do, but don't do any drugs or anything that smells or impacts your capacity. Right. But thank you for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed and liked what we did. And stay alive, stay lit, and stay in love. Woo, do the love thing. Do the love thing. Yeah. Bye-bye, guys.
Bye.
Gotta end it. Thanks for listening.
Good. Good.
That was good.
That was good. Y'all need to